Ann Goodman, and you're listening to Talk of the Bay. And today I'm talking with Consuelo Alba, who is the director of the Watsonville Film Festival, now in its 12th season. Congratulations on 12 years. That's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the invitation to chat with you about our festival this year.
Now, have you been there since the very beginning?
Yes, I'm a co-founder of the Watsonville Film Festival.
And
Yes.
what was your main goal in bringing it to Watsonville when you first started it?
Well, our goal has always been creating a space to share our own stories, the stories of the Latino communities, because we don't see ourselves represented in an authentic, nuanced way. Many times in mainstream media, we just see like very superficial views of the community or negative stereotypes. So we really wanted to celebrate the talent of our own community because I'm actually a filmmaker as well, and there were other filmmakers, and we were like, we need a space to share our stories, to celebrate the talent of other filmmakers as well, and young people who are making films.
It has become, even in 12 years, I imagine, so much easier in some ways to make a film, but maybe not as easy still to get it shown in front of an audience in a nice setting. Would you
Exactly.
agree?
Yes, I agree because this is what independent filmmakers like me learned the hard way. Once you finish your film, which is very, very hard to do, then you need to find an audience for your film. And it gets really complicated because there are not a lot of spaces to show films, independent films, especially in communities like Watsonville.
Well, it's great that you've created the space. Now, your venue is a theater, a movie theater. It's not just like made up venue, it's a real space. Was that always available for you, or is this a new venue for you?
It's a new thing. We actually work with Cinelogs, Green Valley Cinemas, 2015, a couple times, but there were a lot of restrictions in terms of when we could use the space. Now, with the new leader management, Cinelogs, we have a lot more flexibility, and we are so grateful to them because they are letting us show the whole festival from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, March 7th through the 9th at the movie theater, which is a big deal.
We're going to get into the details of well, who's showing and what events are around it in just a moment. But I wanted to continue to reflect a little backwards before we talk about the 12th. What were some of the early films that you remember showing, and what was the response to those films?
Yes. Well, we have had so many amazing films as part of the festival. We are very intentional with our selections. Um, I remember the second year we presented La Bamba. It was the 25th anniversary of the film, which I don't know if people know this, but it actually premiered in Watsonville before going to Hollywood because the family of Richie Valens lives in Watsonville. So the director, Luis Valdez, to honor his family, showed it in Watsonville first.
That's
And then
so
we
awesome.
yes, and we celebrate the 25th anniversary with him, with the brother, and with a wonderful conversation after the screening at the Mello Center.
Did you also have Los Lobos come sing the song? I think I remember that, but maybe they came a separate time and honored the family.
Not yet, not as part of the film festival
Maybe it
yet.
was a second event. Yeah. That is really exciting and just shows you, the kind of space that, we think of Hollywood as only Los Angeles, but there's so much interaction between the Central Coast and Hollywood, with a lot of movies being shot here, and now local homegrown talent, going to Hollywood and representing, as you just mentioned.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about all the different aspects of this festival. It's not just film, right? There's events. That's always the fun part, and parties and other things. So, what are some of the highlights that, if one were going to map out their experience at this festival, that they might want to know about? And how do
Yes.
how do they navigate? Is there like a program that tells them where to be when?
Yes, yeah, that's a great question because yes, that's the beauty of a film festival. It's not just watching films, it's actually engaging in conversation with the filmmakers, meeting the community, and creating this space of reflection and dialogue and healing and transformation. It really happens at the festival. So with our films, we are celebrating International Women's Day, March 8th, with two different programs presenting shorts about women or by women, Latina filmmakers. It's a great selection. The first one is going to be at 5, and it's called Viva la Mujer. And we have this wonderful selection of films, a couple of them shot here in Watsonville. And one of the filmmakers is also is sharing this film, an animation film about her grandmother, who is her champion. And we have this beautiful musical video by Gabby Bravo, who is a beautiful singer from Watsonville, who are presenting her musical video at the festival. You can meet the filmmakers there and meet Gabby there. And then at the after party, she will be performing. So it's the kind of connection and experience that you get at the festival. The after parties, we're going to have one every night because we like to have fun too, with music. And we are going to be at the Slow Brewing Collective here in Watsonville.
That is so exciting. It sounds like people jump off the screen and into in-person experiences, which sounds like a lot of fun. One of the things that's changed over time, and not just in the 12 years since you've been doing this, but over the 20-year period, I guess, is the idea that you could have short films, right? It used to be you had to create a feature film or nothing, but now people can have 5-minute films. Do you think that's opened the doors to younger and less known filmmakers to make films because of the cost being less?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a wonderful medium. It's a wonderful format. It's similar to the novel or the short story. They're wonderful short stories. They don't have to be long. And it's really about the storytelling that happens within that moment. And it gives a lot of flexibility and possibility to independent filmmakers to be able to do that. And that's why we are super excited to present more than 40 shorts this time around.
I still remember going to a film with my dad that was 3 hours. And I thought that was the longest time, but I still remained engaged. So and that was considered the outside. Still is, I think. There's, I think, an Academy Award winning or nominated film that's that long in this most recent round of films.
Mhm.
But it sounds like you have a mix of lengths for people to go
Yes, yeah,
see. Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Do you attribute any of the Watsonville Film Academy or Video Academy and the Digital Nest being located in Watsonville to the plethora of young filmmakers coming up in the community?
Yes, I think we have seen a change since we started. The Video Academy at Watsonville High School has been around for more than 20 years, and several of the emerging filmmakers we have in the community are graduates from the Video Academy. So it starts there. And then, of course, Digital Nest has been amazing because the young people in our community have incredible access to equipment, to mentors, to the possibility of creating independent films with a lot of vision and ambition. So it has been wonderful. We are a sister organization, so we always present films by Digital Nest. And when we have our special guest coming to present to young people, telling them about the craft, about their careers, to inspire more young people to make films. So we definitely see a lot of films coming out of Watsonville now. And also Salinas, Santa Cruz. We have a couple of films from Santa Cruz this time, 3 actually from Santa Cruz. And beyond the region, the Bay Area, Oakland, we see a lot of local filmmaking. And again, you don't see these films, these filmmakers anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's what's really amazing, that the festival is an opportunity for all of us to connect as a filmmaking community.
So would you say the majority of your films are by local filmmakers,
I would say half of them, yes.
which is staying true to your original idea, which is we need a place to show our own stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably, yeah, more like 70% actually this
that's
year.
great. Yeah. And a lot of that, I think, overlaps our mission at K Squid. We really want to focus on the local because, so much of the world's become homogenized and Hollywood is no exception. That when I sometimes have nothing else to do, which is rare, I scroll across Netflix and I look at the little synopses of all the films. And sometimes I feel like I'm just looking at the same film variation on the same film over and over with only slight tweaks to the actors. And so when you're working on diversifying representation, you're really talking not just about the actors, but about the people behind the camera. Talk about that a
Yeah,
little more because I teach media studies and we talk about how important it is to just get people in the director's chair. Is this going to
absolutely.
help that? Get more and more people inspired to do that?
Yeah, because we really have diverse experiences, even within the Latino community.
It's often
There
treated
is
as a block, right? As some sort of
exactly.
monolith, which it isn't at all.
Exactly, and that's the opportunity we are offering through the Watsonville Film Festival. It's a Latino film festival, and then you see the amazing diversity that exists within our own community. We have Mexican American filmmakers, we have indigenous filmmakers, we have award-winning, well-established filmmakers and emerging filmmakers, LGBTQ different perspectives. It's all very diverse. And that's what we keep saying. This is a film festival that, shifts the narrative about like the Latino community is one thing. It's not. We are many, 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 many different things, and we present different worldviews as well.
Why don't you tell us some of the other titles that are going to be there that are examples of what you're talking about, people from different countries and backgrounds, and so forth in the Latin world?
Yes, we have a wonderful film, for instance, from Mexico. It's called Yo Soy la Reina, I Am the Queen. And it's a short documentary about a soprano singer from Oaxaca. She's an indigenous woman who is Mije from the state of Oaxaca. And she's an amazing soprano singer. And she talks about her journey coming out of her small town, going to the city, and literally finding her voice as a singer and a lot of challenges along the way. But it's amazing when you see her performing with this amazing voice, and it's like, yes, this is, a true representation of this indigenous woman from Oaxaca that we never get to see anywhere else, right? That's one example. We also have this really fun film from Texas. The director is Sharon Arteaga, and it's called In Tow. And it's a comedy between a mother and daughter who are found themselves in this very tricky situation, and they are forced to, they have been living in the same house, but looking at different things, and they are forced to be in the same house and forced to connect about what's really happening in their lives. And it's a really fun and silly comedy. It's really well done. We also have the Latina Book Club that was written by Josefina Lopez. She is the playwright of Real Women Have Curves. We honor her a couple years ago for her landmark film. And she came back to our area to film with a group of friends to film the Latina Book Club here at a winery in a vineyard in in Aptos. She filmed this funny comedy, but also with a very, very deep message as well.
Oh, that's great. Are most of the films with subtitles in English, are they mostly in Spanish or they vary?
We have a lot of films in English, and when that happens, they all have subtitles in Spanish. So they are mostly bilingual films. And
Great.
yeah, lots of films in Spanish as well,
With the subtitles on,
with
so
subtitles.
non-Spanish speaking. That's so great that you're doing this. I wanted to just end with sort of a general question for you, which is you said this was a healing event. What are we healing? What are the people healing from? I know there's so many things that you could list, but I'm just wondering what you meant by that when you opened with that statement.
Hmm. Yeah, it has been tough for all of us, right? Starting with the pandemic. I don't know if you remember 2020, we were about to start the festival around the same time, and we had to cancel the whole thing because the pandemic was here. We didn't know what was happening until like we kept upgrading our safety plans until we realized like this is beyond anything we have ever experienced. And just the fact that we had to shut down everything and be separated.
That was
And
hard for especially audience driven event and, community event. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's who we are. We bring people together through art, through film, through stories, and not being able to do that, and just a lot of uncertainty, a lot of loss, a lot of grieving. And I feel like, yeah, coming back together is really, really powerful and healing to all of us because we love our community. Our community loves the festival, and it's a beautiful experience to be together.
Thank you for creating that space for people to come together because we really need that right now. And I know that it's going to be a really uplifting and meaningful and wonderful storytelling event. And if people want tickets in advance, is there a website or something they could go to?
Yes, they can go to watsonvillefilmfest.org. We have a section there that says WFF 2024. And then you click there and you'll see the whole program, the link to tickets, and you can see some trailers and full programs. We're presenting 8 different programs this year.
Fantastic. Will any of them be online or are they all in theater?
Yes, thank you for that question. Yes, starting March 11th, most of our program will be online for 1 week. Not everything, because not all the films will be available. Some films are just starting their festival circuit, so we are not sharing those. But we have an incredible selection of films that people can have access to after March 11th, and that's from the 11th through the 17th. They can see films online.
Well, thank you for making time. I really appreciate it. Consuelo Alba, the director and founder, one of them, of the Watsonville Film Festival. Thanks for being here with us on Talk of the Bay. Really appreciate your time. You've been listening to Talk of the Bay on K-Squid, KSQD Santa Cruz, KSQT Prunedale. It's time now for First Person Singular, and after that, we'll have the State of the Union address from the President of the United States. Please stay tuned. I'm Rachel Ann Goodman. Thanks for listening.